Sinigang was named the world's best soup by the Atlas, what was it?
Food Atlas.
Food Atlas.
It's just so nice and salty and sour.
These need to be world renowned. Oh, this is so good. Filipino food is best known for dishes like adobo, lechon, and grilled meats. But there is a whole entire category of Filipino foods that are completely underrated on the international food scene, and today I want to talk about it in this video. I'm talking about Filipino soups. Now, when I first came to the Philippines, I tried all of the very popular and traditional dishes that you know about as a foreigner coming to the Philippines for the first time, which is, of course, the famous adobo, both chicken and pork. Very tender.
I can taste some vinegar, also a lot of spices, a lot of flavor. This was really, really nice.
It's the lechon that comes in many different shapes and sizes. You have the lechon itself, the lechon belly. You have lechon kawali, which is the fried pork belly.
Wow. Spicy, crunchy, juicy, delicious, sour. All of the things, like all of the good things that I like. Oh my god, this is so good. Oh yes. Good, huh?
And then you have also the chicken version of lechon, which is the lechon manok. But something I discovered for myself that is really amazing in the Philippines are the Filipino soups. So today I wanted to talk about my favorite Filipino soups that I've tried so far. Now, in terms of how good the soups are, these are not in any specific order, but I will start with my all-time favorite Filipino soup, which is Sinigang. Sinigang is basically a soup that you can have in either fish form, shrimp form, or pork or chicken, I believe. So it comes in all shapes and sizes. It has vegetables inside, but the most important thing about Sinigang and the thing that I love so much is it is super, super sour.
Oh, it's just so nice and salty and sour.
Wow, this is perfect. Perfect food for this rainy weather.
Highly, highly recommended.
Sinigang was named the world's best soup by the Atlas, what was it?
Food Atlas.
Food Atlas.
Oh, this is so good. 10 out of 10.
Yes. So there are many different ways that they prepare Sinigang here in the Philippines. Some will use a ready mix. There's actually some ready mixed packages from Knorr that you can use as a souring agent and flavoring agent in the soup. But you can also use a natural product, tamarind, which is boiled, and then the boiled and reduced tamarind soup is added to the Sinigang, and it makes it super sour, super delicious. Just thinking about it, the saliva is pooling up in my mouth. I love Sinigang so, so much. Another version of Sinigang that I love is a reduced version where they make a sizzling Sinigang, usually in very modern Filipino restaurants. Absolutely amazing. Number two that I want to mention is the Bulalo, and probably Bulalo is my second favorite soup here in the Philippines. Traditionally, Bulalo is eaten in Tagaytay. If you really want the ultra authentic version of Bulalo, then you want to go to Mahogany Market, where you can have it just above where the butchers are. Bulalo is a very hearty and rich beef broth. You have the bones in there, you have the bone marrow, and then you have a lot of very comforting vegetables in there, like cabbage. Bulalo is amazing on a cold and rainy day, and my favorite part of the Bulalo is actually the bone marrow itself. Oh, that is so savory, such tender meat. This one's really good. These need to be world renowned.
Yeah, delicious. Oh yeah. Meat is super tender, pull it straight apart.
How good's that broth?
2 fingers. Comfort food, right?
Yeah,
super
exactly.
Comfort food, home food, warms the soul.
It's so rich and hearty and yet beautifully clear, and that's why I really love Bulalo. It's just so, so comforting. Oh, wow. That is such a beautiful, meaty, flavorful broth. Number 3 on my list of soups that I love here in the Philippines has to be bok choy. Bok choy is a eclectic, thick and rich soup here in the Philippines. It has intestines inside, it has noodles inside, it has vegetables inside. It has a lot of things going on, and the famous place to eat bok choy is actually Iloilo. And we were lucky enough a few years ago to visit the bok choy festival in Iloilo, where we got to try something that was absolutely phenomenal. It was a Bak choy bulalo. So a combination of those two amazing soups to make this fantastic dish. It was so good, it was so rich, it was so succulent. I wish I could have one right now. Oh my god, there's so much going on in this dish. You have the soft meat in there, you have the crunchy chicharron, you have the fragrant garlic, and just straight away hits you, and this broth is so flavorful. Oh my god, that is so flavorful. So meaty, a touch of sweetness, super flavorful, garlicky. Love it.
Oh, such a nice soup.
Oh, this is so good. Next up on the list is probably a soup that is not as famous, but a soup that I get to eat every now and then, and that I really love when I do get to eat it. It's very comforting, it's very smooth, it's very thick, and it is lomi. Lomi is hard to describe. You really need to try it. It is so thick and succulent. It is delicious. It is just absolutely dreamy. And actually here in Manila, we have a term, we call it a lomi run. So basically a lomi run is on a weekend, you'll get up early in the morning, you'll jump on your motorcycle and you'll ride to Lipa with your friends to try a delicious lomi. Now we have a saying here, if it's not from Lipa, it's not lomi. So definitely give it a try. Oh, it's hearty, creamy. You got that nice, satisfying feeling of the soft noodles. The flavoring is really, really good. There's so much flavor in there without it being too salty. It's really nice, really well balanced.
Oh yeah, it's like gooey somehow, and it's like perfect comfort food. That's really nice. With the lechon, with the crispiness.
Next up is a soup that comes from Bacolod. And Bacolod is known to also have a lot of acidity in their dishes and a lot of sour dishes. And what they actually use in Bacolod is a bean or a seed that is called batuan. And batuan has very little flavor besides sour. So you really can use it to make whatever dish you're cooking super, super sour. And one of those dishes that they have in Bacolod is the kansi. It is also a very thick and sour, a little bit reddish soup. So Sinigang is very clear, it's very thin, it's similar like a Bulalo, just that it's sour, but like the kansi, it's a little bit more thick, a little bit more succulent, and definitely a treat. Definitely need to try it when you travel to Bacolod.
Oh, this is so nice. Slightly sour, which I like. Actually very similar to Sinigang. Oh, such a nice flavorful broth. Wow.
Next up is a also very, very soothing Filipino soup that goes by the name of Binaco. Now, Binaco is made traditionally with chicken, and they actually add coconut water to the soup. So you have those amazing bright and fresh coconut flavors. They put a ton of vegetables inside, they put the chicken inside, and the soup is really soothing, comforting, has a little bit of sweetness in it. And honestly, it is a soup that you can eat literally every day.
Oh, this is so mild. So nice. Wow. Oh my god. So good.
Next up is a soup that I only got to try for the very first time just recently, and it is beef pares. Now, beef pares is, as the name already says, it's beef that is cooked for a very, very long time. It's stewed for a very long time. You eat it with rice, and besides having the pares soup, it gets served with another side dish of clear soup. It is rich, the beef is tender, delicious and succulent, and it is absolutely to die for. Actually, there's a street food vendor just close by that cooks pares here every day. So when I go for my morning walks or morning runs, I can smell it when I go by, and I get a craving for it every so often. So maybe I should give it a try next week, the pares vendor here around the corner. Oh, that is really nice. That's like just a very pure beef broth. There's no other spices or flavors in there. It's just very, very puristic. Wow. Wow. That flavor is totally unexpected. Wow. So it's kind of like, it has a touch of sweetness to it. It's very, the sauce is very thick. Tastes very, very good. And the beef is so tender. It just falls apart. It must have been simmering for hours. The next soup is a soup that is only for the adventurers, only for the people that have the craving for a different taste, a different flavor. And what I'm talking about is Papaytan, or also known as the bile soup or the goat bile soup. Now, The soup is massively prepared, especially in the mountain regions, the mountain provinces. I got to try it in Baguio, and basically bile is the stomach fluids that help the goats digest the food or whatever animal you take it from. And the bile is added into the dish, which gives it a very rich flavor with a lot of acidity. It makes it quite sour, and it also makes it very bitter. So it is a very, very unique flavor, packed with flavor, so to speak, and super, super delicious. Wow. It's sour, it's salty. The innards are super, super soft, and it's just very rich and decadent. Like a lovely warming soup. I get what you said, like you need a soup like this when it's cold and rainy. That was really good. So that is just the list of soups that I've gotten to try in the Philippines. I'm sure there are a ton more that I didn't mention in this video. And actually, please let me know in the comments down below which soups that I have not yet tried in the Philippines and which soups that I really have to try sometime soon. Guys, if you enjoyed today's vlog, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. If you enjoy this kind of content, this kind of video, please do let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see, what other topics you'd like me to talk about, and I will do so. With that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Stay awesome, be positive, and make it happen. Bye-bye.